Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering something really different. We're going to talk about one of the lesser known series from Marvel, the Iron Man anime.
Now this is only one of 4 anime series Marvel produced at the time of the MCU when it was just starting. However, the series tells an all-new story in between the Iron Man films. Now Tony Stark goes to Japan to produce a new arc reactor power station and showcase the Iron Man Dio, a new prototype armor that will replace him when he retires. However, the Iron Man Dio goes out of control and it's up to Tony as Iron Man to stop it, along with an organization called the Zodiac. Everyone has a Zodiac. Tiger and Bunny. I don't know how many other shows have the Zodiac. But don't forget, before we start,
yes, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos. Yeah, we had this movie the DVD for over a year. When we kind of haphazardly watched it and thought, not so much. And then a year later, it's like, you know what? Let's give this another chance. We watched a lot of anime. Let's go ahead and put it in. And at first, it did start out a little bit slow. But as it went on, it started to pick up. And it had a very interesting story to tell. Until we got towards the end of the series, which is only about, I think, 13 episodes. It's pretty short. And then I realized, this is Tiger and Bunny.
Yes. But it did have some great moments of its own and some voice actors we love. And Rascal let me know that there were other anime series done, including Black Panther, Wolverine, and a movie with Black China.
Wait, where's she getting here?
And a movie with Black Widow.
And Punisher.
Yes. So imagine my excitement when I learned that Milo Ventimiglia is Wolverine, which was another one.
And I
lost it. I said, we gotta see them all. We gotta see them all. So this is the beginning of our coverage of Marvel anime.
Right. We're definitely going to be watching the rest as well now we've seen this, because you know us in the anime. Look how much we've covered now.
Now, it was great because Adrian Pasdar, what do you call it?
He's back to playing Iron Man again like he did in the animated series.
Right, and he and Milo Ventimiglia played brothers in the Hero series, which is one of my favorite television series of all time. So it was like a rejoining of the two brothers, not on film but on voice.
Right.
So as you mentioned, it did start off kind of slow, but it got very interesting. The plot got really deep. The characters were interesting and not one-dimensional, and some episodes will really stand out. So
yeah,
I would give this a B.
Yes. And other voice actors we definitely got to mention, they've also been famous for other anime and other shows. We have Laura Bailey as Dr. Tanaka.
Neil Kaplan.
Zarkon, which you can tell when you hear him as the Minister of Defense, which probably be a spoiler if you know Neil Kaplan's other role. Right. And then you have Cindy Robinson, Eden Regal, Travis William, a.k.a. Roy Mustang.
And they always give him these good-looking characters to voice, so it's hilarious. And then we had Cosmo!
Darren Norris, and lastly, Benjamin Deskin. If I mention Milo Ventimiglia, he gets his own little shout-out.
Yes, so he's Wolverine. So as a game, that right there was like, okay, gotta watch it, gotta see it, gotta watch it.
Right.
So they really were great in choosing voice actors that are very good at doing the roles and whom we're very familiar with.
Right.
Both on screen and off screen.
Right. And as I said, it started off slow and picked up speed because we weren't sure how it was going to play out. It was something completely different. And it was made around the time of Tiger and Bunny and when the MCU was still in its beginner stage with sending out the first 5 movies and the Avengers film. Right. So about around this time, they may have been getting towards Iron Man 3. So this kind of takes place in between some of those movies, like its own story that doesn't mess with the continuity of the Marvel films, which was a very smart idea.
And this story takes place in Japan, not in America.
Right.
And in Japan, they don't like Tony Stark because they think he's a greedy, money-grubbing warmonger. And so he has to prove himself along the way during this anime that is not whom he is. He's much more. He started out thinking one way, but he learned and he grew, and he no longer is that way.
Right.
So that was mainly the main arc of this story.
Very
proving
much.
to people that he's truly Iron Man and he's truly a superhero.
Right, because it showed up many times, and it seemed like some characters still had this set mindset about Tony, or just from where he's from, period.
Right.
Which we were kind of surprised considering when the movie came out, because we said 2010 to 2011, so we were surprised they were still writing this type of arc at the time. So it was like, okay, that's different. See where they go with it.
Right.
And then as they had each of the Zodiac parallels, and there was these machines, there was always this ongoing mystery of who is Zodiac. Is it a person? Is it a group? Is it a computer program? Because you seem to have a lot of those, like Ultron and stuff. Or is it something more? So it's become like this little game of finding out who or what is Zodiac, or who's involved in it, and also finding out these machines or people in machines that work for or with or in Zodiac.
Right. And as you mentioned, true to form like Tiger and Bunny, it was so easy for us to pick out who the bad guy was because it was the same storyline. You knew who it was. We were a little thrown off at first because we thought it was Sakurai, Travis Willingham's character. But Rascal said, no, it's this person. And sure enough, she was right. And then you began to see more and more parallels, more and more parallels. It was like they watched Tiger and Bunny and decided to make an anime that mirrored it.
Right. And it was funny because while we were watching Tiger and Bunny, I tell Mama, I think while Tiger is supposed to be like lower grade Iron Man in terms of him not being loved by everybody within its universe, but is outside. And this was kind of like a reversal within the Iron Man anime. People in Japan didn't care for Tony, but people outside of that and outside of the show liked Iron Man. So it was a weird parallel.
And then in Tiger and Bunny, Kotetsu has saved his daughter numerous times, and in here there was an episode where Tony saved a little girl who somehow was operating, actually had been joined to some machine, right, and was connected, and he had to save her, and she was an orphan and had lost her parents due to something unintentional. And then there was the parallel of Stern building the big corporation, and then there was the parallel of Kotetsu being framed for something he didn't do.
Right.
And so was Tony. And you just kept seeing it over and over and over.
And the only problem with them doing it here is that, me, I like framed arcs, but the one they did for Tony was like over like that. It's like I couldn't even get involved in it. It's like, Tony didn't do it. It's Tony Stark. He didn't do anything.
The only thing they didn't do is have him appear like he was dead and then he rise up and save the day. They didn't copy that. So
right.
Good. But they did have another character actually take that position, and she saved the day after they thought she was going to die, and she lived long enough to do this. So yeah, it was just pretty much Iron Man and no bunny.
Right.
But that being said, it was entertaining. The storyline had some differences that made it interesting. It was great to hear voice actors we know. It was fun to be able to pick out some things. We just would have liked to have been in the dark on more things so that there would have been more surprises.
Right.
That would have been would have made it more entertaining for us, not knowing everything that was going to happen.
Right.
The animation, of course, was well done.
Very well done.
And we enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then it says that it originally aired on a channel called G4. I don't think G4 is around anymore, but I remember that channel. That channel was really, I think, originally for gamers. And we did not watch that channel, so we didn't even know this existed until recently. And then they also have a follow-up DVD movie called Rise of Technivore, which I actually got some time ago, but it's somewhere here. Yeah, it's somewhere here. I forgot even had it till we were researching the movie before recording. It's like, wait a minute, I have this movie somewhere.
So when we find it, I will watch it with you, and
That's an extra podcast.
Right. So if you have seen this Iron Man anime, let us know what you think. Do you think that it fits in with Marvel's image? Do you think that it could have been better or that it was fantastic in itself? Do you wish that they would go back to doing anime, which we heard they're actually going to be doing some anime for some of the Marvel characters?
Right.
Do you want it to be like this, or do you want there to be an improvement since there's been a big gap between 2012, of course, and 2020? There should be some improvements, of course, in animation, but how about the storytelling? Do you want to just hear comics put to anime, or do you want some new, unique stories for the anime?
Right. Oh, also be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification bell to get updates on Paws Podcast and World of Paws videos.
And let us know if you've seen any of the other Marvel animes as well, and which you recommend that we watch next.
Right. Remember, there's Wolverine, X-Men, Blade, Iron Man. And I think they did one for the Avengers, but I haven't seen it.
And I'm excited about Blade because I've seen the entire trilogy, and Blade was really the precursor to all of these movies that are out now. He was badass, there's no way to put it. And it's unfortunate that the third movie got so much controversy due to different things that the franchise didn't continue. So it's going to be exciting to see this Blade anime.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you want to do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. With her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the